on the same side, but let me know where you're at. What's going on? What's the word on the street?
I'm in Western Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
Okay, we're in the heart of the lockdown. So Western Sydney is where they put a ring of steel around certain areas with certain ethnicities. Okay, basically the Assyrians, the Arabs, the Croatians, Serbians, people that, the last bastion, we call it the last people that are going to actually put up a fight that aren't under the thumb. So now that what they've done is they brought the army in the factories around the corner. Someone's come in, they've taken video they put armored personnel carriers, tanks, troop movers. We've got army going door to door, telling people about the vaccine, telling them that they got vaccine handy, they can give them the jab on the spot. They're putting up tents in the streets here. And this is Cabramatta area here, where I'm at right now. And they're all Asians here. They're Vietnamese, basically, in this situation. A lot of them don't speak the English. They're putting up tents, putting up chemists. They've got a big screen just showing all the deaths of people dying and saying, take the jab, take the jab. We've got our premier saying, stay home. Don't talk to people in the streets. Don't congregate. Just one person's allowed to go in the shop. The other person waits in the car. If they see you in the street, all right, they will beat you. Okay, and people say, no, I'll send you all the videos. Actually, I'll send you all the video. People send me everything, okay?
Yeah,
They're beating people in the street. They're
yeah, go
kicking
ahead, sorry.
they're kicking these fences down. These are metallic fences. They're like aluminium. So the police will come into your backyard. Like, you should just walk in and say, where's your mask? What are you doing? Why are you outside? Should be inside the house. And when you tell them to get out of your house, right, they pull out the mace. They spray you. Their partners come in. They put you in a chokehold. They beat you. And they say, we're doing this for your health. Right, then they arrest you. Okay, they're literally kicking people in the street. One guy got soccer kicked in the head yesterday. Right, they held him down because he was driving in the car without a mask on. Okay, the helicopters is the worst. Like the helicopters, they got army helicopters, two of them in the air. That's why I was just about 5 minutes ago calling you, because they just fly low flying too, all night, 24 hours a day, brrr, keeping people awake. And the fear porn that they have on the TV is disgraceful. We had 100,000 tests, 100,000 tests. We got 300 cases. That's 3 in every 10,000, right? And they're saying now we're going to shut down. Now we're moving out of Sydney. We're going to go up the coast. The worst thing is most of the people here in the Western Sydney, we're not allowed to even go to work. They've shut us down. They said, you cannot work at all. You must stay inside your house because this is the crux of the matter. And
Is that where the worst lockdowns are? Because the one guy, remember, he was on here, he's like, it's not that bad. And everyone was like, yo, you haven't been here. Is that the worst
the Western
part?
suburbs is the worst. This is the worst area for it. The worst area is in this Western suburbs area. We call it the Western suburbs LGA. Fairfield, Bankstown, Lakemba area. It's basically it's a high population of Arabs and the Islamic people. And what
Why
I
do you
said to
think
them,
it's the worst? Why are they going the hardest on that area? Why do you think?
I'm going to tell you why. Because, right, look, I'm going to tell you, look, different ethnicities have different ways of dealing with things, okay? You're dealing with people in this area here that come from war-torn countries, a lot of them, and a second generation of refugees. And they're still manly. They're not skinny jean wearing, man bag wearing men, okay? These people here, if you come in the face and say, you're not going to work, listen to us, you're under the thumb, they'll stand up and they go, no, you get out of my house. Okay, this is our rights, they stand up for their rights. Whereas a lot of the other people, when they put the news on, they're literally succumbing to everything. They're hypnotized by the news. So the last few years, we've been under this big, I don't want to say the religion terrorism thing, okay? And they've been doing that to indoctrinate people and to condition people so that when they come down and lock down these people in this area, people look at them as an enemy. They don't see them as Australians.
If you don't mind if I ask, are you from Australia? Are you from somewhere else? And what ethnicity are you?
Man, I was born here. I was
Okay.
born in Australia. My mum is Iraqi. She's Assyrian Iraqi, like they're
Okay.
Christian Iraqis. And my father is a Dutchman, a Dutch Indonesian. But I was born
Okay.
here, raised here, and I love my country. I'm willing to fight for my country too. So,
Awesome. Appreciate you. I'm going to get to the other guy real quick. I'm going to come back to
yeah.
you. Thank you so much. And so you're coming in. Not sure where you're from, but that's fine. I like your little ring. Let's see. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you? Where are
Good,
you at?
yourself? Sydney, Australia.
Oh, you are in Sydney. Amazing.
Yes.
I didn't even know if you were, but I like the ring. It looked like I got the jab ring, but it said, I trust my immune system. Very cool.
That's right, and that we should be able to choose because right now I'm in a lockdown area. There's certain areas, there's like 8 or 10 maybe. I'm not keeping up with the news. I don't watch it. But we can't go more than 3 miles from our homes.
That's
There's
so
like
creepy. And what
helicopters.
happens if you drive more than 3 miles?
Look, I've had to stay pretty close to home, but
Gotcha.
I've heard helicopters above my house at midnight. And I've seen videos in certain areas where they're saying, put your mask on, you can't be in groups. Like, it's crazy.
What do you think people need to know? Like, what did you not hear other people say? Or like, what have you been wanting to tell people that maybe don't know?
I think people aren't realizing that because they're not seeing it. Someone else made the same point. Because you're not seeing it doesn't mean it's not happening. So I'm seeing footage in like different areas where there is military, where there is helicopters, where police are coming down and pulling people over. We have the scanning. They can scan your license plate so they can see where you're from, so they can see if you're too far. So they're really starting, and they keep on saying everybody needs to get vaccinated. Everybody needs to get vaccinated. If you just get vaccinated, we have like big shopping centers. There is nothing is open. Everything is online. The only place that is open, like, you know, like your Walmarts, or they're all closed. You can only do online. The only things open are grocery stores, basically, and you have to wear a mask. I went into one store, one chemist, like a, what do you guys call it, like a pharmacy. They told me I needed to pull them. I had the mask on. You have to have it to go in. I had it under my nose. She said, well, you need to pull it up. So I called and I made a complaint. I said, I don't have to. I don't have to cover my nose. I've got the mask on. You have to QR. They've got people with security guards in some places where you have to scan the code. They want to see that you've checked in, to make sure they know that you've checked in before you walk in. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And I asked another person because in America, obviously, we have certain different states that do different things.
Yes.
And we also have a little more defined gyms. There's a few restaurants. Canada has one or two. Is there any restaurant you could think of, or any business or any gym, like one that said,
Look,
I'm going to stay open and push the boundaries?
from what I know of, the ones that tried to do that, they got heavy-handed on them. That's my understanding, is that police would go there and be like, you can't keep it open. There's fines. There's very heavy fines in place now. There was a protest a couple of weeks ago just to show the effect of the lockdowns on mental health and domestic violence, and people got fined. They've got a task force to try and identify people who went to the protest so that they can charge them. So they're not even letting people speak up against it.
Is there any voices in the media, like independent or online, like that are really leading the charge, or not really?
Look, I was watching Sky News to get a lot of stuff. Apparently, they've been censored by YouTube, which was kind of the way that I was watching it. So they're really trying to squash. I've put a few things up about the vaccinations and against lockdowns. Things have been, a couple of times they've stopped me from posting things. So I think they're really starting to come down even on that.
So Sky News, because I know they have like a European section too, so they have it in UK. Like Sky News, I think it's owned by Rupert Murdoch, so it's more right wing, and it can be a little sneaky like Fox News. But I do believe they probably have the only like anti-lockdown like
Right.
rhetoric at all, and they got
Right.
censored on YouTube. And would you say like that's one of the only like right leaning sort of things, or
Look,
like one they're promoting like opening?
I'm a bit anti the media right now, so I haven't been watching a lot. That's the only one that I'm aware of. But I think the biggest thing is our politicians and the media are feeding into this narrative that, we just need to get everyone vaccinated. That's the push. And I think people are starting to really feel the pressure from colleagues and family, like everyone just needs to go get vaccinated. And they're kind of saying, well, this lockdown will keep on going. Forget about leaving the country. We're not even allowed to leave the state. People who aren't in areas, and they keep on saying more areas that are going to be locked down, and we don't have deaths. We're having people that are coming back positive. We have the Medicare system, so we have lots of treatment in our hospitals. I don't understand why they're not allowing people to, there was actually a few schools, you guys call it SATs, we call it HSCs. There was a few schools that sent letters out to parents saying their students have to be vaccinated before they can come back and sit their final exams. Now, parents flooded the schools, and so they turned around and changed that. But I think they're pushing a lot of things because people aren't realizing that what they're doing is not right. It's not legal. So they're trying to do things to get away with it, and then when they get pushed back, they drop it. My understanding is even people who get fined for wearing masks, when they take it to court, it's getting thrown out. I don't know if that's true. I haven't done that, but
That's what I heard the last guy say, that he said
yeah,
it's they don't stand up that much. Even
right.
in America, we have definitely more pushback, more freedom, but under my thoughts is like we didn't take it back and we didn't earn it back. They gave it back. And anytime they give it back, they could take it away again. I remember I had a friend in Australia and he was like, "Oh, look, we're free again. It worked. The
Yes.
lockdown worked." And then now they're back in it. So hopefully enough people, because I think whether it's Australia or America, that's what it's going to take, is enough people like what happened to the schools there, pushing back, saying no, and then it's like a big experiment, and I feel like humanity's getting an F. Like we're losing
Yes.
because we're showing that we're just like sheep.
Complying. Yep, that's exactly right. That's right. No, I totally agree. And what happened with us was they were telling us we couldn't dance, we couldn't go to restaurants and sitting, like they had all of that. Then summer came, they slowly lifted the restrictions. We got to a point where we almost were completely free. They were starting to look at opening borders up again. And then they announced on a Saturday, it was the first day of the school holidays, oh, another lockdown in 4 hours. They gave us 4 hours notice. The shops were flooded. Everyone was going crazy because they were going to lock us down, and it was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. And they've just extended. So it's work from home, homeschooling. It's been crazy. And they're saying till the end of August, but I suspect they're going to extend that.
Any last words? Anything we can do to help? Any words of wisdom? Anything?
I think that we need to try and connect a little bit more. Aussies, we need to kind of get more groups to see what we can do to try and push back. I don't know. There's lots of petitions going around. We need to sign the petitions. I don't know how useful they are, but we need to find a way to show that we don't want to do this anymore. We just got to learn to live with it. And that doesn't mean being restricted with lockdowns.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in. God bless you.
Thank you for bringing me in. Bless you too. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Hello. Capital.
Yo, what's good, bro?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, bro. How about yourself?
Life is good. So you're in Australia. Tell me what part and tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so I'm in Melbourne, Australia currently right now, and we were in lockdown mid-July, and then they let us go back out for like 2 weeks. And then when it was Obama's birthday, they put us back into lockdown. So I saw the patterns. I saw how everything lined up. So yeah, now they're saying that we're in lockdown for 7 days, but I just saw on the news, apparently it's going to be until Christmas now. And don't forget, we were in a lockdown for 7 months last year as well. So yeah.
And right now in Australia, you can't leave the country. You can't go to restaurants.
Nah,
Is that all true?
we can't do anything, nothing at all. Only thing we can do is just go to the supermarket to get groceries. That's it.
And I
yeah.
heard they're limited at the supermarket.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's like not available, so you got to go like early in the morning. So even me, I had to go early in the morning just to get a few stuff. But yeah, like it was full, bro. Like nobody could get anything.
And the one guy I was on, he seemed pretty lackadaisical about it, but he said it's overhyped that the military's not in the streets. Are the military?
No, the military is not in the streets, but when protests do happen, the police, they go hard on people. Like they tackle people down, pepper spray you. Like it's very intense. You know what I mean? Even me, when I went to the protest, like there was like 1,000 cops just standing in the street. They're like, nah, you can't go through. Like it's ridiculous, bro.
Do the cops want to do that, or do they feel like they're on the right side, or you think they're just kind of going along with the motions, doing their job?
I think they're just going along with it, to be honest, because I don't know. I've talked to a few cops I've met outside of, their uniform. They seem pretty cool, but you never know what they are until you see them on their job in action. You know what I mean? But,
totally.
Yeah.
Any last words? Any words of advice? Words of hope?
Yeah, just everyone that's in Australia, just don't buy into what the TV and media is feeding you. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's harder to convince the old people because they're programmed. Just question everything and don't think you're weird or going against the grain just because you don't comply with what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But everyone just needs to stand together.
Amen. God bless you, brother. We'll pray for you out here, and I'll continue to try to give you guys some coverage.
Appreciate you, brother. God bless. Take care.
How you going, mate?
How are you?
Yeah, really good.
What's going on? You don't have to share too much if you don't want, but what part of Australia or what's going on where you're at?
So I'm just north of Sydney. We've been in lockdown now for 7 weeks. You can go to the grocery store, and that's about it. Supposed to wear a mask. I'm literally the only person here not. It's been chaos. Like my wife's 38 weeks pregnant. We're not sure at the moment if I'm going to be allowed in for the birth. It's pretty crazy, but we're staying strong, Really, here in Australia, people are really relaxed about things, but they just want to get along. They want to take the vax just so that they can travel.
Yeah, which is the rich area, the more affluent suburbs. All right, they're walking around with no mask on, no social distancing, laying on the beaches in Sydney, like all of them packed to capacity, and the police sit there and won't do a damn thing. But if I was in the police station just now, right, I just had to go and put a report in and everything else for this stupid COVID crap. And my friend was there. I said, hey, how are you going? He goes, listen, mate, there's a stay-at-home order. And you guys aren't even 1.5 meters apart. You're going to have to go. Okay, well, you can't speak. No, the Premier said you can't speak to people. If you're in the shopping centre, not to stop and speak to people. No contact. Keep your mask on. Don't look at them. Don't say hello to your neighbours. They're trying to cut the information flow off. And our Premier yesterday was actually telling young people, we've got an oversupply of AstraZeneca. So even though there's no Pfizer here, please go get AstraZeneca.